you in the market for a weird, unusual, and particularly rare car to live out your Spanish beach fantasies right here in the UK? Thankfully, I've got the perfect thing for you, and it's this car to my left. Hello, and welcome to the SEAT Panda Terra. Yes, today you join me with this, quite frankly, a bit of a weird oddity, possibly the only one in the UK. It's a 1983 SEAT Panda Terra, and we're going to have a proper look around it inside and out, under the bonnet. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this weird and wonderful Spanish-Italian convertible pickup truck, and then we're going to get it out on the road, and I'll tell you all about what I think. So let's crack on. It's a bold question, isn't it? It's one that probably hadn't been asked very much before the folks at SEAT got involved. What if we took a small Italian economy car of the people and turned it into a convertible pickup truck? I'm glad they did ask the question, because this, the SEAT Panda Terra, was born, and what a wonderfully weird thing it is. But how did we get here? Now, in the 1980s, Fiat was thriving, doing what they did best, making small, lightweight economy cars for the people. Their Panda, introduced in 1980, was an absolute hit and had taken on the strengths of the Fiat 500 predecessor and ran with them. It's arguably, to this day, one of the most successful people's cars of all time, and still finds itself sprawled over all of continental Europe, being used on farms and in and around little villages and towns. Now, at this time of success for Fiat, the folks over in Spain at SEAT weren't so lucky. They weren't the powerhouse that they are today with loads of injection from the Volkswagen group. No, they were a small, struggling car maker. They were well established. They just weren't doing all that well. And so they had a deal with Fiat that from 1980 to 1983, they could use and license Fiat designs to make their own cars, which is how the SEAT Panda was born. So if you're looking at this car and thinking, it looks awfully like a Fiat Panda, bar the everything going on over there, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. Why has it got SEAT badges on it? It's because it pretty much just is a Fiat Panda with SEAT badges on it. It was used to try and help boost the successes of SEAT, and it did quite a good job. The SEAT Pandas were sold pretty much exclusively into the Spanish market, and they really did help boost SEAT's sales and profits at the time. Now, while Fiat, as I say, were thriving and making all sorts of special edition Pandas with weird wheels and stripes, SEAT were actually getting quite good at it as well, but they were more focused on the commercial utility side of things. But in 1983, they brought out this. They wanted to cash in on the booming Spanish beach culture with a beach buggy style, fun, cool, quirky vehicle that you could use practically, but also have some fun with when the sun was out and you parked next to some palm trees and there was a sea breeze. And so the Panda Terra was born. I would have loved to have been in the meeting where they approved this thing and hear the pitch of, right, we're going to get the Fiat Panda that we can build under license, cut the roof off, put on a soft top that is removable and held in with straps and bungee cords, and turn it into a convertible pickup. I really don't know why they did it, and quite frankly, it's a ridiculous thing, but boy am I glad they did. I absolutely love it, and so did the Spanish people. This was an incredibly popular thing. It really did play into the popular and booming beach culture, as I said, and as such, these were quite a familiar sight in places like the Canary Islands, Lanzarote, and all along the coast. Obviously, they weren't really sold outside of Spain, so to find one out in rather gloomy and miserable damp old England is quite the spectacle. As I said in the beginning of this video, I believe this to be the only one here. It was actually a very well done and thought out design. It was nice and practical. You could remove this roof in its entirety, or if you just wanted to get in the back, you could take off these bungee cords down here, unpop your pop rivets, unzip here, unzip there, and you had access into your pickup area with a nice little rope so that all of your things didn't fall out. So when the roof is off, this is what we're left with, a nice sturdy roll cage for strength, and then the sills are also incredibly strong on this so that you've got a nice rigid body and it doesn't snap in half when it gets windy or you go over bumps. It's such a cool looking thing. I absolutely love the aesthetic of it, especially in this form. Inside was nice and simple, a pretty rudimentary plain economy car interior. It's exactly what you'd expect. There's a few gauges, dials and switches all up the front. It's slightly more luxurious than a base level Panda. It's just under the most luxurious of the SEAT Panda varieties, the SEAT Marbella. Under the bonnet is classic Fiat Panda, a tiny little 4-cylinder engine, so small you can also fit the spare steel wheel under here. It's the low compression 903cc 4-cylinder 42 horsepower engine in here. There was a 45 horsepower variant, but that was exclusive to the SEAT Marbella, the luxury sporty version. Top speed, not that it particularly matters, was around 130 kilometers an hour. It's a nice, simple engine that will go on forever. Parts are readily available. It's perfect engine for a car like this. Gearboxes were traditionally 4-speed manuals, but this particular car seems to have been fitted with a 5-speed. I don't know if that's a rare factory option. There's not really many other Panda Terras to compare it to, especially over here, as I've already said.
So then, I'm quite excited for this bit of the video, the Panda Terra. Let's get it out on the road and see what it's like to drive. On the road, it's probably exactly what you'd expect. Simple run-of-the-mill economy car. Yes, the steering wheel is arguably on the wrong side of the road for this country, but most of these Pandas are left-hand drive, especially the Panda Terras. They were, I think, all left-hand drive because they were pretty much only Spanish market. I've got a little 4-cylinder engine up front working hard, and to be honest, it's more than capable of keeping up with modern traffic. I'm not so sure about motorway driving, but on country lanes like this and in and around town, it's more than adequate. My little 4-pot is paired with a 5-speed transmission, which is quite unusual for a little lightweight economy hatchback of this era, but I'm quite thankful for it. You really do find yourself in that 5th gear more often than not. In the corners, it's surprisingly competent. There's not a lot in the way of body roll, and it actually feels quite tight. It's a fun little thing to drive this. It's pretty much exactly what you're expecting. You, in essence, drive it flat out everywhere. It's very underpowered, it's very lightweight, but it's awfully good fun. I think what's perhaps shocked me the most, especially this being a Panda Terra soft top convertible pickup thing, it's really not in the way of road noise or bluster or buffeting. Yes, I've got a soft top roof that's pretty much held on with straps and a few bits here and there, but it's really not that blustery. I can hear myself think and talk, and I'm doing 50 miles an hour, which isn't any breakneck sort of speed, but it's very contained and quiet in here. And it's a lot more comfortable than I was expecting. I've driven a real base level 750 Panda, and that was like driving around in a wicker garden chair. It's not really the case with this one, I've found. I very much enjoyed my little drive in this Panda. It's a really curious thing, and it gets an awful lot of attention. So I wouldn't drive or buy one of these if I was shy. You do get a really healthy mixture of laughter, pointing, and outright confusion. Probably less so with a standard Panda, but with this, a Panda Terra, it really is quite the spectacle, according to everyone on the streets of Hertfordshire today. Overall, I'm pleasantly surprised with this thing. I wasn't expecting an awful lot from it. I was expecting it to be loud, uncomfortable, really high revving, and just exactly what you'd expect of a 1980s economy hatchback. But it's none of those things. It's comfortable enough. It's more than competent at modern speeds. There's very little not to like with this Panda. I'm having a great time with it.
So then, the SEAT Panda Terra, what do I think? What are my thoughts? Well, they're overwhelmingly positive, to say the least. It's an absurd car to look at, the idea on paper. There's just so much about it that's crazy, and I love it for that. I like the original Fiat Pandas anyway, or the SEAT Pandas, however you want to say it. They're fun, they're lightweight, especially this one, which weighs around 700 kilos, as you can see. It's easy to drive, it's pleasant to drive, it's enjoyable, and especially in this form, it gets so much positive attention. It's such a fun and welcoming little car, and as I said, I think it's the only one here which makes it quite the sight. A car like this, I think, speaks for itself, and it speaks volumes, but if I had to sum it up in one word, it would be fun. I'd seriously consider buying this little Panda Terra or bringing one over from Spain myself, and so for that reason, the Panda Terra gets 2 thumbs up from me.